out here, students who are not yet ready to graduate, you should know that college really does work. And Megan is going to be leaving us. She already has a job. She's going to Santa Clara. She'll be working for Intel and doing something really complicated. I'm not sure exactly what that is. But we're really going to miss Megan. So thank you for all the time that you've given us, Megan. I normally like to connect with the audience and speak about the pieces we're playing. The piece on the second half tonight, David Del Tredici's In Wartime, is hard to talk about, and I still, as I'm standing here in front of you, I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to say. The program notes do a pretty good job of telling you what David was thinking when he wrote this piece. I can tell you that on 9/11, the night before, I'd spent the night studying Bartok Z-cell transpositions, and I was sleeping in the wind ensemble library at the University of Texas in Austin. I was a graduate student. And one of my colleagues came in and said, "Bianco, you gotta wake up and come in here and see what's going on." And I went out and I went into my professor's office and I saw what was happening in New York City. And the school shut down. It was before there was good video on the internet, so televisions were rolled out into the hallways and into the common spaces and into the student lounges. And we sat there and we watched TV all day. Nobody went to class. And as the day went on and as the weeks went on, it became clear that America was going to war. And it soon became clear that we were going to be going to war with Iraq. And David Del Tredici spent September 11th in Lower Manhattan, in the village where he's lived his entire professional life, and saw it all happen on that day. And he immediately began to write this piece at the request of my teacher, Jerry Junkin. When the piece was completed, David came to Austin and spent a week with us as we prepared to do the world premiere of his piece. And my teacher, Jerry, was very busy guest conducting all over the world, doing things that week, coming in and out, and so it was on the graduate students to take David out to dinner every night that he was in town that week. So I spent every night that week with David Del Tredici. And it was one of the most fantastic, artistically stimulating weeks of my life, spending those evenings with him and talking about his music. And we talked about the piece a lot, but one of the things that I remember very clearly was he said, you know, a nation should think twice before it invades one of the oldest and most beautiful civilizations on Earth. We must not forget that region, that part of the world, that's Mesopotamia. We grew up in elementary school learning about the wonders of that civilization as we were embarking on a war against that country. And so I know that David was terribly conflicted about what was happening because he was in Manhattan when the towers came down and saw the awful tragedy that was. Yet he was aware that what was getting ready to happen in the Middle East, the war that was getting ready to happen, was maybe suspect in what was in its goals and its aims, and that it was a very difficult time for him. I hadn't planned on playing this piece this year. Oftentimes, concert programs are planned out a year in advance. I decided we were going to play this piece after the Paris attacks. Not the first one, the Charlie Hebdo, but the second one. And then, of course, the San Bernardino massacre occurred, and I thought, we have to do our part to at least participate in this discussion. And of course, the discussion is still going on. Talk about immigration, and talk about faith and xenophobia. So this is our chance to participate in that discussion through music. So hope you enjoy David Del Tredici's In Wartime.